Everyone, welcome back to the Hot Takes podcast, where we're always seeking to be humble, open, and transparent. And I have my buddy, my pal, my friend, my brother from another mother, Mr. Ray Abrams. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, Lawrence, man. So good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It's a great day.
Yes, it is, man. Ray, man, we go back a couple years, man. Go back a couple years.
A minute.
Yeah.
More than a couple.
Yeah. Met at Toastmasters, and
right.
we kind of vibe from each other there. But now you've been on a project management side of things. You've been navigating speaking, coaching, some other things, man. What you got going on, Ray?
Man, I tell you what, man, life is just so good right now. And I'm so excited, just helping people. I think what, I've decided to do over a couple of years ago is I realized that the niche that I could best serve was helping people learn how to network. One of the things I kind of realized, and I actually talk about, this experience a little bit in my book. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but that everything comes through your network and who you know. And so once I discovered that secret, I decided to share that with people, and I'm building a whole practice around that. And I'm excited to share that with folks.
Man, I tell you what, I always tell people all the time, it is always, again, you show people your network, that I show you your net worth. And again, just being all those, anecdotal statements, and again, around who are you surrounding yourself with, the mindsets, the disciplines, the habits, the right behaviors to be successful. Because I truly believe, again, that's why we tell anyone that has kids out there, that's why you're always like, you don't want to hang around them, they're a bad influence, right? It's the same goes as an adult and as professionals. And as you've seen your network affect your life, how have, what drums up for you to read? Like you wrote a book about it.
Yes.
So what came up for you that you were like, you know what, this needs to go in pages?
Yeah, just it's a system. I think what keeps people afraid is a couple of things, right? People have misconceptions about how do I network, particularly later in life, it's kind of like people think that either I'm good at it or I'm bad at it. And the people who think they're bad at it is look at everybody else and say, I wish I knew how to network. And that failure, or that fear of failure, feeds on itself. And so I created a system that if you follow it step by step, you can create a great network, even if you hate networking, even if you're an introvert, even if you hate small talk. You just follow the system and you'll turn around and you'll have just the right number of people in your life who can help create the changes that you're looking for. And so I wanted to create a book. So it's Connect Like a Boss, that really shows people that it's not just about networking, but it's about connecting, right? So it's not just about who you know, or even, as some people say, who knows you, but it's how well you're connected with those people, right? So now when you not only know people and they know you, but then you focus on building a relationship with those folks,
mm-hmm.
right? Now those things can come to fruition, and you start to multiply the circle that you already have.
Yeah. I love that, man. And again, no pun intended. Connect like a boss, hot takes with boss. It was one of those things. It just worked out, right? I'm the boss, and Ray, look, we weren't even around each other when he was writing the book. So it's just one of those things, man, because of connection, right? The ESP, right? You felt it in the atmosphere. We bosses out here. But I'm glad you transitioned the language, because one of the things that beat me up early in my professional career as I transitioned out of the military was the disconnect early back in 2015 between networking and developing a network. And so one of the things that, again, I was a serial event goer. But one of the things, there was a disconnect because I was trying to build relationships based on my experience from the military, which that was immediate. I had to know, like, and trust you. in a matter of seconds, where on this side of life, I wasn't used to having to put in the reps, having to put in the work for a network and a connection to be fully developed. And so why do you think, like for most people, understanding that network is some work, you got to put in some skin in the game a little bit. Why do you believe some people don't take that next step to network towards relationship?
Right. And you're right. And it's interesting you say that, but work is the central part of networking, right? And people kind of miss that out. They think it's about transactions. And that's what we're taught. You know, I mean, even when you first learn, when you hear the word networking, it's synonymous with transaction. You know, I give you a business card, you give me a business card. If we can do business today, then great, right? However, there's never any talk or any education about how do I build a relationship with this person? Because at some point, as a matter of fact, the statistics are, you know, that only, you know, between 1% and 3% of the people you meet need your services right now, right? So somewhere between that 97 and 99% of the people have no need for your service, right? So you cut your odds down tremendously by trying to do business with someone that you just meet. So if you take that time, and it does take effort and it takes time, and I want to make sure I stress that nothing in my book, nothing in my method is fast, right? It may take a year, it may take 2 years. There are people that I'm trying to add to my circle that I've been working on for 5 years, you know? And you'd be surprised that when that happens, when that person finally, Russell Brunson, who you may know about, talks about how he tried to get Tony Robbins in his circle for 10 years, for an entire decade. And now he flies on a jet with Tony Robbins, right? So it's worth it if you're willing to put in the work. So I hope I answered
love that. Man, no, you're all over it, man. And it's funny because I go back again to that young me, right? I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wanting to immediately hit the ground running on this side of life, just how I did in uniform. And the first time somebody said to me, it's going to take time, Lawrence. And I'm like, oh, nope. They gonna look at my face and look me in my eyes and know I got the sauce. Like yes. they gonna immediately, but what you just said around transaction is what was in my head. Because in the military, it was all, you acquired assets so that when somebody called you, you were able to perform. You were able to that, and that was what we called a network, is who could we get things done through the quickest, or pick up the phone and call. And again, on this side of life, it didn't work like that. Like, and again, somebody introducing me to the concept of people knowing you, liking you, and trusting you.
Right.
I'm like, no, like,
right.
Trust, no, like, for right. What? And then, for what? Like, that was my, like, why we gotta go through all that? Like, you know me, period, done. Let's get to business, right? But no, they was like, no, I got to know you. Then I got to like you. Then I got to actually get the reps in to actually trust you. Yes. I'm not taking Ray's word for Lawrence's. Like, I love Ray. Ray, a good dude. But now I need to see him work for myself. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch, right? And the funny thing is, how have you seen this help or hurt someone in a business relationship?
Oh, it just helps. I mean, I don't know if there's any. As a matter of fact, I tell people there's no downside to this. Worst case scenario, even if you don't end up doing business, you don't end up getting the job or the account, you end up having a good friend, right? So it's all about making friendships. One of the misconceptions I try to dispel is that there's a difference between your work friends and your personal friends. Right. And so people, you know, they say, I have to keep those separate. I have this group of people that are my day ones, you know, cats I went to high school or college with, and that's why I roll with. No new friends. Nobody new in this circle. Right.
Everybody Drake.
Right. Everybody Drake, right? No new friends. Right. you know, but over here, I got my business friends, which are all new, right? So I'm just, you know, so I treat them different. I keep them in different buckets, right? But the challenge with that is that there's no incentive to become friends with the people in that business bucket, right? You treat them as transactions. Can you buy from me? Are you going to hire me? Are you going to sign up with my program or not? If not, I'm not ever talking to you again. Or I'm going to call you again when I have another need. The next time I call you is I'll call you when I have another job. I need a job. I need you to buy my stuff, right? What I say is, you know, there are people in that business pool who are probably really good friends. The people you can go to basketball games with, right? People you can, you know, what I coach at the end of my session, at the end of my coaching, you know, you should have 100 people that weren't in your bucket before, who are so close to you that they invite you to their children's wedding, right? You know, I mean, you know everything about them. They know everything about you, because this is the thing, right? Think about whenever you need a job. Can you imagine if your best friend, I'm talking about best friend in the world, could hire you, right? Or you know, and as I tell my real estate clients, you know, think about the people that you know who wouldn't dare buy a house from anybody else, right? How many of those? And usually it's like, well, there's probably 2 or 3 people I know who wouldn't dream about buying a house from somebody else. I'm like, what if you had 100 of those people, right? What would that do for your business? And that's something you can do. Making friends is not easy, but it's simple, right? Because we all want the same things out of life. So I show you how to make new friends. But first you have to decide what kind of friends you want in advance. Yep. Say, okay, these are the type of people I want. Yep. Go find them and then build relationships with them so that they wouldn't consider not hiring you or not buying from you.
I love that. I love that connection, right? Because again, when we go back to the know, like, and trust, right? From a business aspect, right? They buy from a business standpoint in sales. We always say, they buy you before they buy the product or service. Like, and so how can you now disconnect that reality from the networking aspect and relational aspect? Like, what about you did they buy? Like, why'd they say yes to you, the salesperson, but they say no to you, the friend or the companion, or like, it shouldn't be that way. Right. And that goes back to the way that we all got brought up on, you know, being one way at work and one way at home. Yes. And never shall the two meet. Well, in all the training and development stuff that I've ever looked up and I've read, because I aspired to that too. I as a soldier, all right, I'm Major Henderson at work. And when I come through those doors, I am Lawrence Henderson, the husband and everything. And my wife used to have to tell me constantly, take your uniform off. At the house, take your uniform off. You ain't Major Henderson here. And I was just be like, well, I'm the same person, but I wasn't hearing myself. I wasn't hearing myself actually say that out loud. But now today it's like, you can't separate those people. It's on the vine together. And so one thing I want you to help people with is, because I've been hearing it's hard. This virtual environment makes it hard to connect and to build your network, because I can't go to coffee anymore with you. Help me kill this myth that you can't connect and network virtually. How?
I think it's easy. It's actually easier.
Say it louder for the people in the back, Ray.
It's actually easier, right? You know why? Because everybody's home, right? You know, nobody's out with the kids, nobody's at PTA meeting, you know, nobody's at this, that, and the other. They are sitting right on the couch. Right?
They can't lie and say they ain't at home.
Hey man, I'm in Paris right now. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh man, I love it. I love it, Ray. So when you take people through this, man, like, and people always want to know, right? Are you just, because again, I understand relationships and people come into your life for seasons, reasons, and a lifetime, right? And again, there are these categories, right? You got you in the center, and there are these rings around you, right? And people go into the rings. Wherever they at, they either cross the rings or whatever. But when you think about why you got started and really paying attention and being intentional and being thoughtful about the way you began to connect and network, what was it? Well, where were you at in life that you were like, okay, I need to be better at this?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and you know, and as I was talking about how that's the introduction of my book kind of talks about it, but I'll share with you. I had been laid off. You know, it happened. You know, when with Cox. You know, was one of the times, but there were many times before that. I think you know, I shared that 4 Christmases in a row. You know, I was out of work. You know, and had 3 small children, and was just unable to just kind of keep a job. And just I got on this contractor, what I call a contractor roller coaster. You know, every year around October, you know, I'd get called into the office and say, hey, you know, we got to let go, you know, such people. It's not your fault. You're doing a great job, but we got to cut back. And so after 4 or 5 times of this, you know, I got really sick of it. And I think there was one particular time, and I just really decided that this was it. You know, it's something I need to change about myself, you know, and I can continue blaming the company and corporate America and the economy and, you know, but, you know, what I realized is that everything comes back to you. If you're having the same problem over and over again, you're the common denominator. And so, you know, I realized that what I needed to do, because I was making the same mistake I think a lot of people make. You wait until after you get that email or get called into office, and then you start dialing for dollars, right? You're calling everybody, you know, hey, Lawrence, you know, you got anything? Hey, blah, 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 you got anything? Hey, blah, blah, blah. And we all get those emails, right? And chances are you don't right now, right? It's tough for everybody. But what I found was that by building those relationships beforehand, so that I never have to make those calls again. As a matter of fact, I get calls now proactively for people who want me to come on board. I don't even have that stress about, you know, if something were to happen in my job today, would I be able to find something in a couple of days?
I love that, man, because it really speaks to something that I always say. You don't want to be the thirsty networker. You don't want to be the thirsty networker, because again, it's like relationships. Nobody likes a thirsty person chasing after them. Guy, gal, in between, it don't matter. Nobody like thirsty. Right? They love to be chased. They don't love to be stalked. Right. And it's one of those scenarios, particularly in developing relationships, where it's like, okay, I haven't returned your message.
Yes.
Several times. Please get the hint. Like, and again, it happens in networking and for those serial inboxers that are out there, like you said, that you diving for dollars and you dialing for dollars. Like, look, if I got it, I'll give it. And again, outside of you calling me when you have a need, when's the last time you called me? And
that's it.
I tell people, even in this season of COVID, the people who I thought would call me, haven't. Yep. And the people who I just met check in on me more than people that were in my network for years. And it's great, but because I tell people, right, in this COVID season, one thing has happened. People's values and what was important to them has shifted and shifted towards the affirmative of what's truest for me in this moment. And now what's truest is, hey, has that always been a thing for me? I want this to stay around more often, because there's a piece and a value associated with family. With true connection. And people who actually value the expertise of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell you as a business owner, man, word of mouth is still real, man. And you just said it too. Word of mouth is a real thing.
That's everything. You know, and also, you know, this is the thing that I'm encouraged by is the ability to go global. Right? Think about it. Now, if you remove the geographic boundaries from your business, right? Think about, instead of having, you know, Atlanta, you know, with 8 million people, you got 8 billion people, right? That you can now get on the phone. You can think globally, you know, during this period, right? Of making connections with folks. You know, I can talk to people in Dubai just as easy as I can talk to people in Decatur, right? It doesn't matter, right? And they all want the same thing. So now you can add people strategically in other countries and other regions around the world and not focus on where you can get to physically, right? So those barriers are gone as people get used to this new normal. So like I said, I think, you know, a lot of people took this all as negative, but I look at it as positive. It's just a different way of thinking. Build your network globally with the right people. You know, you have 100, you know, I think, and again, not to mention Russell Brunson too much, but he calls it the Dream 100, which is you say, look, man, I got 100 people that I want to have in my network. And I'm going to work and I'm going to get them in my network. But it doesn't matter where they live in the world. You know, are they billionaires? Are they whatever? But if you put a strategy together, and I can help people with that, build a strategy, you know, talk, you know, start to know the people that they know, become a known asset, be generous, and you'll see your network will grow exponentially, and it's not limited by geography.
Yeah, I love that, Ray, because there's also, you know, a couple people that I listen to and frequent their videos, and I've, being honest, just began to put some of the things that they've been saying for years into practice, particularly around engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Before you ever need that network, you've said it multiple times. How often do you engage? And because social media has given us access, how often are you engaging? Not with the person directly, but with their timeline.
Yes.
Right? Across platforms. Right?
Yep.
Everybody has the one thing internet did for us was gave everybody a platform.
Yes.
Gave everybody a platform, right? And again, whether you're an influencer officially because you get the blue check or whatever, the fact that you have a platform and you want to, and I love that Dream 100 concept, right? Go at it so hard that you now end up on somebody's list.
Yes. Everybody needs somebody. And that's the thing. I think that's another misconception.
Yeah.
Is that certain people don't need anything. And that is a lie. That's not true. Oprah Winfrey needs something, right? Everybody needs something. And your job is to figure out what they need and provide that thing, right? Whatever it is, right? And it's going to take time because they're approached by a lot of people. But as you just said a little while ago, people come to you with an ask. Everybody's asking for something. Right? Particularly when you're Oprah Winfrey, right? What if you just hit her up every day, giving her something, information, you know, show ideas, you know, connections to screenplay writers, what have you, whatever she needs, and not ask for anything, right? But that's how you build a relationship. It's Stephen Covey talks about in his 7 Habits book. The relationship bank account, right? Every time you do a kindness to somebody, you're making a deposit. Every time you ask for something, you're making a withdrawal. Most of us try to go to the bank and make a withdrawal before there's anything deposited. Doesn't work in real life. Man. Doesn't work in a relationship, right?
Yeah, I love that because crazy enough, right? People always used to mess with me, right? As a veteran, that was like, so what do you need? And I couldn't answer it because I was so used to serving that I was just like, what do you need? Right? That's it. Like, right. And it would flow out of people's mouth what they needed. And I would go to work. I'm reviewing resumes. I'm like, but in the back of my mind, it's like, I need a job. Like, what am I? I'm reviewing everybody else's resume. And I'm like, I'm the one that need a job. And I'm like, and I'm doing this stuff for free. I'm sitting there coaching people around their business. And I'm like, yo, I became an ATM. And I was like, I feel depleted because ain't nobody made no deposits. And all they keep doing is withdrawing. And I ain't even charging nobody overdraft fees. And so I got to the point where I was just like, hold on, it ain't even overdraft fees. I just said, stop. You don't even have an account here. Like,
wow, please call customer service.
I was like, this ain't even your bank. Like, your card does not work here. And it's crazy, Ray, how people can continue to believe that transactional lifestyle is sustainable. That's just like anything else. If you're running on fumes, if your car, if you haven't put gas in your car, it will not run. Yeah, we're the same way. Like you said, you can't withdraw what you haven't deposited.
That's real. There you go. Secret to life.
Oh my gosh. Ray, I tell you what, man, I'm so glad there are people out there like you who help people get better at this. And there is something that is coming up that me and one of my good friends, Ginger Johnson, we're about to ramp up on, man, called the Academy of Boss Connectors. Nice. That we're going to create an entire development community around authentic connection and network. Because again, when you come in with the right mindset, like what we've just been talking about for the last 20 plus minutes, if you come in with that attitude in what you said, virtually, it's become easier.
Yes.
We get to it quicker.
Right.
We either mesh or not.
Right. And the beauty is, and this is the thing that people aren't really talking about, this pandemic is not going to last forever. Right. So this is a great time, right, to plan, to strategize, to make new connections so that when the world opens back up, you got your stuff in place. You have your plan, you have your strategy, you have your connections, you've reconnected with people. This is an opportunity, man, to go through your phone and call everybody. Call everybody. Why not? Why are they in your phone? You never want to call them. Call them and say hi, right? What's the worst that can happen?
You just punched me right in the throat. Because funny enough, right? And being real, this hot takes, humble, open, and transparent. How many professionals do I have sitting in my phone, and I'm sitting here on the web, in the interwebs, looking for podcast guests? I got a whole phone worth of professionals and coaches. I should never run until I deplete my. Okay, y'all heard it here first. On Ray Abrams' episode. You will not hear another person after I exhaust the list of people in my phone who want to be on this podcast. The people that I already have their phone number, and they're professionals. They're out here doing a thing. Boom, Ray, challenge accepted.
There you go.
Thank you, my friend.
There you go. Just call everybody, and and again, just find out what they're doing, and you would be surprised. And many of my clients have been so surprised. I mean, it's really changed their lives.
Yeah.
Because what happens is over the years, people move into new positions, and just lose track of folks. And you never know. There's probably somebody in your phone who's the president of this and that, or the CEO or the CMO. And you'll just call them and, hey, what you working on right now? And they'll tell you, and it could be a really perfect, fit. Oh man, I won the lottery last Wednesday. You just never know what'll come out of those conversations.
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
They may know someone who's exactly who you need, and people love to help.
Yeah.
So particularly because this is the funny thing about this. I hope I'm not losing my signal.
No, you're good.
The funny thing about it is, I'm good. Yeah, is that people, when you call people that you haven't talked to in a while, they're assuming you're going to ask them for something, right? Almost 100% of the time when I get that call, matter of fact, I fell for one a couple of weeks ago. I was actually mad at myself because I knew it. And, somebody called me out of the blue. I talked to him 5 years, and about 10 minutes in, we talking, just chopping it up, hey, Ray, I got this opportunity. Fished in, right? But if you just calling people and just generally just saying, hey, how you doing? Don't just need checking in. Just checking in, just saying hello. This is what I'm working on. What are you working on? Is anything I can do to help you? Would coming on my podcast be beneficial to your business?
Boom. Right there.
That's it, man. And that's all you have to do. And man, I'm telling you, it will change your life. If you do.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Ray, I need people to connect with you. I need people to find you, man. How can they get in contact with you?
I'm a website, rayabram.com. It's no H and no S. It's rayabram.com. I'm on all the social media, just Ray. I think Instagram is Ray_Abram on Instagram and Twitter. You can find my book on Amazon. It's just amazon.com, Connect Like a Boss. Yeah, man, that's it. Please reach out to me if you want to book some time with me. I have a button on my site. You can set up a one-on-one call. It's free. Just, I like to say, I just like helping people. So
my guy, man. We said it back then, man. When we was at Cox together, we gonna connect. We moving. We doing what we said we were gonna do, and that's what a network and a community is all about. Is everybody showing up, being accountable, and owning how they are present so that others can experience your greatness in all its authenticity, man. So Ray, thank you, sir, for gracing the airwaves and the interwebs with your presence, man. I look forward to continuing to grow this relationship, to grow our community, and just win, man. That's it.
Same here, man. Let's stay in touch. Let's make it happen. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Will do, my friend. Until next time, folks.